What brings you in today?
I was in a car accident a while ago and now my neck hurts really bad and like kind of up in here.
Okay. Can you describe to me kind of what led up to this car accident?
Well, I was driving kind of around my neighborhood and then I was going probably like 45 miles an hour and then we got into the accident and the back bumper of my car got damaged.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
That was like 8 weeks ago, I think.
Okay. Have you been able to see anyone or do anything to kind of help with that neck pain before coming to see me?
I mean, I went to the doctor, but I haven't seen anyone since then.
Okay. And how has things been like through your daily life? Have you had any difficulties with work or doing activities you like to enjoy?
It's been pretty bad. My neck pain is really, really bad, and I just want to cut my neck away from my body. I don't think I'll ever be able to make it better.
Okay. Do you have anyone at home that helps you?
Yeah, my husband's there.
Okay. And then what do you do for work?
I work at a desk job, so I'm on the computer a lot.
And then is that every Monday through Friday type of job or?
Yeah,
Okay. And then how's your sleeping been?
not good. I still have bad dreams, and last time I dreamt that I went through the windshield.
Oh wow. Okay. And then let's see. Is your husband at home during most of the day, or do you have any other family support around you?
My parents aren't too far away. My husband's home. He works, but then he's home in the evenings.
And then the pain over the last 8 weeks, has it gotten better, worse, stayed the same?
It's pretty much stayed the same. It's still really bad.
Okay. Well, from just a little conversation that we've had so far, something that I would like to try first is something called a thought virus management. So what that is I've just heard a few negative thoughts that you have said out loud, and what this would do is kind of help flip those negative thoughts. So a lot of the times when we think negatively, we increase our stress levels, which increases our cortisol level, which is a hormone in our body that our brain releases that is related to stress. So the more we have these negative thoughts, the more stressful we become, and the more cortisol that's released. So flipping those thoughts can kind of help reduce that cortisol level, help you become less stressed and anxious, and overall help you feeling better. Is that something that you'd be interested in doing today?
Yeah, I guess. You sound like my husband. He's always coming up and trying to comfort me.
Oh, really? Okay. So the first one I heard you say was, I just want to cut my neck away from my body. I don't think I'll ever be able to make my neck better. So that's definitely a very valid feeling. I mean, you did have a very traumatic crash that caused that neck pain. So something that we could do to kind of flip that is thinking, you're facing a lot of challenges with your neck, but you're not alone. I'm here to help you, your husband's there to help you, and so by finding the right support, I think we can take the next steps to kind of heal your neck and help reduce that pain. Every day is different, and that will provide you with different opportunities to progress to healing your neck. So that's something that one way to flip the virus is, in your thought, you're saying that you are all alone, which isn't true. I'm here for you, and your husband's there for you as well. So kind of flipping that and making you or show that you're not alone can help with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but like, I know my husband's there for me, but whenever he comes and like hugs me from behind or on my waist, like all I want to do is just put his hands away. That's where the seatbelt was. So
Okay.
like, I just don't know about that.
Okay. Well, I'll have you try the next one. So you said you were having bad dreams and that you went through the windshield?
Yeah.
Okay. So is there anything you could think of that your dreams might be telling you?
I mean, maybe that's like my way of starting to process it all.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a great idea. I do think your body is processing your crash in that way, potentially through your dreams. So of course, sleeping is a chance to heal and really process things and become stronger. But every day you become more resilient, and you can trust yourself that you'll be able to overcome this situation and find peace and strength within yourself.
You're probably right.
Awesome. Okay, the last one you said just when we were talking just now was that your husband came around and hugged you from behind and you just felt like you wanted to rip his hands away because it felt like the seatbelt.
Yeah.
Do you think of any other way we could kind of flip that into being a more positive thought?
I mean, I love like how supportive he is and like his supportive gestures. It shows that he really cares, and it reminds me that I'm not alone. And so I guess like trying to focus on the positives and kind of letting the lingering feelings from the past go.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think that's a great way to flip that one. You know, your husband's always there to support you, and although something like that might kind of trigger the emotions that you felt from the crash, I mean, that could always be something that you discuss with your husband too, and just let him know that that's what you're feeling, but also being aware that he's there to help you through these things is also really important. So good. I like that. So the last thing here is tracking these thought viruses. So one way we can do that is we can have you keep tallies either on like a notepad when you're at work or on your phone at home or during other times of the day, and then keeping track of how many times you say these thought viruses, and also maybe thinking to yourself of how you could flip them and making them more positive. For the rest of the session today, I'll be tracking how many other thought viruses you might say. We can kind of discuss at the end of the session how many you said and then other ways we can flip them. But the ultimate goal is to reduce the amount of thought viruses you say each day. The more we can reduce them, like I said before, the more we can help kind of reduce that cortisol level that is in your body, and that's kind of helping, or that's making you a little bit more stressed. So you can either also at the end of the day, you can journal and write down your thoughts and how you flip them throughout the day, and even just kind of writing what you're thankful for, or even 3 good things that happened in your day could be also really beneficial too. How does that sound?
I'll give it a try.
Okay, you think being able to track on like a sticky note or your phone would work?
Yeah, I'll use my phone. I always have that with me.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we'll discuss that during our next session when you come in a week. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about was a pacing skill. So the pacing skill I wanted to talk to you about was the cup theory. So I have a cup here, so you can kind of get a visual aid here, but the cup kind of represents your life, and what's in the cup represents the things that take up time and energy and thoughts. So it could be like your job, or spending time with people. It could be your anxiety, your stress, and your pain from your accident as well. So what we really want to work towards is making sure that cup doesn't overflow. So making sure that you're not taking on too much, or you're feeling too overwhelmed with things that are going on in your life. But you also want to be able to take things out as well. So doing things that make you happy and make things that are stress-free can kind of help reduce that load in your cup. So one of the things that you mentioned was, that we talked about already, were your negative thoughts. So a lot of times those negative thoughts can fill your cup, but being able to flip those to positive thoughts can kind of take that out of your cup. The other thing you said was your work. You're having a lot of trouble working, which I'm sure could be really stressful right now, especially if you feel like you can't do your job to your full potential. So I'm sure that also can be stressful. So we also want to try to work on reducing that amount in your cup as well. So even if that's just talking with your supervisors, finding other ways that maybe you could get more comfortable at work. I know you work at a desk job, but we could kind of brainstorm ideas to kind of help reduce that pain when you're working. Another thing you mentioned was sleeping. We could try working on creating a good bedtime routine, whether that be making sure you're not on your phone before bed, reading, journaling, even meditating, kind of taking time to decompress throughout your day so you can really get the best sleep possible. Also, it's really important to stay on like a consistent sleep schedule as well. I know you said you're in pain at night, which might be a little trickier to stay asleep all the time, but that's another good thing that we can work on to make sure that your cup doesn't overflow. You also mentioned that your household activities like chores and whatnot are a little harder to do, but a way we can kind of reduce that in the cup would be asking your husband to help out more, or even seeing if there's any family members around that would be able to kind of help take over some of that those chores that you have throughout the day. And then the last thing I was thinking was your exercises. You mentioned that you used to do a lot of weightlifting and long distance running, which I'm sure is a little tricky right now with your neck pain, but there's other alternatives we could do. You could do walks, try yoga classes, and that can help also reduce the load that you have in your cup, because that can be kind of like a meditative time for you, and also still allows you to get that exercise that you're wanting. How does that sound? Do you kind of understand the cup theory?
Yeah, I think so. Get my husband to do some of my chores.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always something that, that's just causing too much of your time or it's taking too much from you or adding too much into your cup. That's a good idea, is to ask your husband to help you out, because, he's there to support you. So, yeah, awesome. Do you have any questions for me today before we finish our session?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I look forward to our next session next week, so just make sure that you track your thought viruses, and we can talk more about flipping those, and think about, sometimes it's nice to have even like a cup on your desk at work to just kind of think about the things in your life that kind of take up that the cup, but also what else can kind of help you unfill it. So awesome. Well, I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
So after learning more about my patient, after discussing her case and the symptoms she's expressing, I've decided that she has nociceptive pain. This is the pain that she's feeling in her neck and her upper trap on the right side. I believe it's the nociceptive pain because this accident only happened 8 weeks ago and her body is still recovering from it. I'm assuming she had like a whiplash type injury, and she also had her arms on the steering wheel as well, which probably caused the upper trap injury. She did not describe any numbness or tingling, which is why I don't think it's neuropathic pain, but I do believe that if the pain isn't subsided in the near future, or if she does start to describe centralization type symptoms, it would turn into a nociplastic type pain. For her social determinants of health, I've chosen economic stability and neighborhood and built environment to speak about. Her economic stability, she mentioned that she was having problems at work due to the pain, which could potentially negatively impact her work performance. Because we don't know what she does for work, if she was commission-based or something like that, that could negatively impact the amount of money she gets monthly based on that, but also just her performance and potentially the situation that might arise because of that. She also obviously was in a car accident, meaning she had to fix her car, so there was payment she had to pay for that to get the car fixed as well. And then I've chosen the neighborhood and built environment as well, because she did mention she liked to work out a lot, and because of her pain she is unable to do the activities that she used to do, which could become sort of isolating and also kind of have negative effects on her attitudes and whatnot. She also felt like her husband couldn't touch her because it reminded her about her crash and the seatbelt around her waist, so that could also be kind of feel socially isolating for her, because she's not able to do things that she used to. And then the helpful hints for the therapist on thought virus flipping would be making sure that you as a healthcare provider really plan out what you're going to say before you say it, because you don't want to come across as judgmental, but you also don't want to implement any more thought viruses in their heads as well. So being very mindful of the words you choose and how you choose to say them. And then lastly, making sure that you validate their pain or their problem without exaggerating it and making it more of a deal than it already is, because this could also negatively impact the thoughts that they're having in the future and their progression on reducing their pain levels and their negative thoughts.